referrals. So when my first job in recruitment, the owner of the business was really big on referrals. Have you asked the question? I used to have a little printed out thing that said ask for referrals. And my God, of course it works. So asking people, who do you know? So that's can be used a lot on the candidate side. So how do you generate candidates? How do you bring people in? Well, I'm asking anybody I approach with regards to a job. If it's not right for you, who do you know? And that's exactly the right thing you should be doing. And maybe out of 200, 10 people might refer you somebody, and they may not be good, but you've got to keep asking that question. It might be better averages. I don't know. This book again, so focused on Sell Different by Lee Saltz. So this is about the one time you can ask for referrals for clients. So what I tend to find is that recruiters tend to be very shy about asking for, who could you recommend? So some people say, it says in here, some people say it's when the contract's signed, some people say it's when the order's delivered, some people say it's when you've done a couple of placements, some people say it's right in the bat of the conversation. So this refers to the one time when you can ask for a referral is when you've earned the right to do so. So there's part of me that agrees with that. And, the timing of that earned right is different in each situation, absolutely. I suppose it depends on your interpretation of that. Is that when you've made a placement, potentially? Is that on the initial conversation? You've sent them some collateral, you shared some information, maybe? Is that on the first cold BD call? Could be. So I suppose it depends on how much you're investing in your relationships and how much you're focusing on developing them and bringing value. So when people say I'm investing in relationships and asking about their family and things, now for a percentage of the population that really works and building, off what I regard as the halo effects of when candidates go to interview with clients when they have they both support Man United or Newcastle or whatever, and therefore there's a synergy there. I think with junior positions that works, and there's an element of that, but as you get more senior, that's pretty useless. But if we think of that on a BD related, could you build a relationship on the basis you both support a football team, an NFL team, a rugby team? Potentially, and that might work. But I suppose it's you considering when's the right time. And the problem that I find with a lot of recruiters is they never feel it is, and they're never asking for business. They're never asking who they can refer to. They're never asking who do you know who could be using my services. They'll get a win off that referral, and they'll feel good for referring you. And plus, when somebody buys from you, and then someone else buys from you, then that they know it validates their perspective. So it's a bit like brands, really. If one person buys a brand and then another person buys a brand, it's like, oh yeah, that's a good brand. I appreciate that you bought it, I bought it. It must be good gear. One person buys a TV and the same person buys a TV. You both got a good TV. In perspective, it doesn't mean you have one. It just means that someone else thinks that you've got a good TV and therefore you've got a good TV. You've got the same TV and then you run with it. Phones, etc., is all very much the similar kind of concept. But so what do we get out of this message? Alex, when the hell do we ask for referrals? I'd say be asking more than you're asking right now. So if you come away with this and go, when have I earned the right? Bring value, ask for referrals. Ask your existing clients, ask your existing candidates, who do you recommend that I maybe approach that will be struggling with hiring? Who do you recommend that X, Y, and Z? Client, we've been working together for quite some time. Who do you recommend I approach with regards to someone who can need my services? So asking more questions on referral basis and getting more referrals, majorly important.